So it's Tuesday of week 2 of rehearsals. We had a really great day today. We were indoors for the morning and then we were outside for the afternoon. Our stage is getting built, so we've finally got to see the space that we're going to be working on. It's much bigger than I had imagined, which is really cool. The gardens were absolutely packed today because it was such a sunny day, so it was a really nice day for working. And I had some really good moments, I think, today with Desdemona. The scene where she approaches Othello for the first time to plead for Cassio is one of the scenes when I've been reading the script, on the run up to starting rehearsals. That was one of the scenes that I think I had the clearest in my head to how I thought it should be played. I had a very clear idea of what I thought the dynamic between Desdemona and Othello would be like, what they're like in each other's presence. I think something that I'm beginning to realise about Desdemona, or actually in generally about how I work, is that I guess I tend to figure out who the character is as a whole, and then figure out how, through the course of the play, how the various things that happen to them affect that person. So if you've got somebody who has this type of personality and then they lose a father, how do they react to that? If you have somebody who's this kind of personality and they are shipwrecked, how would they react to that? How would that kind of person react to that situation? So I'm always sort of thinking of the person as a whole, and then thinking of how the series of events affects them, so that it makes sense that that's how this person would react to that situation. With Desdemona, I'm kind of finding it's different because she's so young and naive and inexperienced. I think you see very different Desdemonas throughout the course of the play. The things that happen to her fundamentally change her personality throughout the course of the play. So it's hard to think of Desdemona as a whole character, because every time you see her, something else has happened or is happening that makes her sort of question her perspective or her choices or her experience of that moment. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I kind of think it's starting to make sense in my head that I've got quite a sort of blank slate, I guess, that I'm starting with Desdemona. The first time you hear about her, her father is talking about how innocent and young and naive she is, and how shocked he is that she could be married in secret to the Moor, because he would never suspect his daughter of being deceitful or falling in love with the Moor. But the first time the audience actually see Desdemona, she's quite strong. She's quite sure of herself. She's quite empowered by being in this relationship with Othello. And it's not until that relationship starts to go sour that you see her having sort of doubts about whether or not she's made the right decision. Up at an end, she's really confident about how strong she feels towards him, how real their love is, etc. So yeah, it's a kind of different, I think I'm having to approach it at a different point, taking it very much scene by scene, as opposed to thinking of the whole character and how they react to the situations. I'm thinking of a person who is changing the way that she reacts to things each time you see her. She goes from the young and innocent girl that her father's talking to someone whose eyes have been opened to a much bigger world and a broader experience of things, but just by her knowing Othello, just by her being with him, she suddenly finds herself in situations that she'd never imagined she would ever be in, and how she reacts to those is a little bit sort of off the cuff. She doesn't really know herself. She doesn't really know what it's like to be in a relationship. She doesn't know what it's like to be married to someone. She just knows how she feels. Yeah, so it's interesting. It's interesting. It was really nice, as I said today, to find moments where I thought, yeah, definitely that's how that moment works. That's how she should be in that moment. There's still quite a few moments in the play that I'm really not sure of what she's making of it, what she's making of those. But yeah, we're doing some really cool work. I'm excited. I'm very excited.